Fight against your partner in the gym where you train. I know that the same guy trains under the guidance of your coach Kazan Abdulbasarov, Kamil Abdulagapov, and he often told me that you are pulling him up in technical skill, that he looks up to you. But here, by right, you won 5-1.
When I saw the list, I was already tuned in. I think this fight will be an experience for him. I'm pleasantly surprised that he typed. Very much even typed. The last time we fought with him for a long time. A lot has changed since then. He's grown up, he's young. I understand him. Once I lost to Rasul Gotsi Magomedov in the same hall in the 15th year. We have also known each other since childhood, for 20 years. I can't find him yet. He says let's see, he says, I heard so. Can we take a picture next year? When he won me, yes, even ahead of schedule. Well, 8-0 with such a big score, I was so offended at first that my fellow countryman won from me, and I remind him many times about it. But after a while you realize that these contractions are more useful. And I grew up on these fights myself. I lost 10-0 with a big score. So I think maybe it was harder for him to tune in. I understand him, because I am older than him. And somewhere I know this kid with such a character. He goes out, fights, cuts. A little, well, I won't say, so dirty, such as his struggle should be. And maybe in some ways he showed respect to me, and he couldn't tune in. I'm at the expense of technology, maybe I beat him with experience.
After you signed a contract with Bellator, probably many people expected to see you in the MMA octagon more.
It was a surprise to many. Even many people I meet there, when they heard that I was struggling, they were so surprised. He says we didn't think you'd be back on the carpet anymore. On this, too, I got my dose of benefit, since after that I started following my weight among the Magomeds. For his own, and this is to take care of your body, weight category. That's why I've been listening here for 74 hours today, since the Olympic Games are next year. I want to invite, I don't want to let go of such a chance. Today I am 28 years old. Many people perceive me as an adult athlete. 28 years is not even sunset yet, on the contrary, I will say I have not even reached the peak. Just this morning I listened to Hayman Nurmagomedov in an interview, he said he had a peak of 33 years. I think I'm 28 today. There is a place to grow there. Until the 28th year, if my health gives me chips, if everything is fine.
But there is already such an example. Harid Yunyan didn't play, I don't remember which MMA promotion he was in, and in parallel he didn't seem to get involved in Roman wrestling any faster, although we haven't seen him there for a long time.
I won't have that, because it's been a saying for centuries that you chase two hares, you won't catch one. Therefore, we need to focus on one thing.
After all, what is one thing?
Now I will tell you in English whether he is into wrestling. Therefore, only for the Olympics, for the world. And this, too, I will say, is part of my preparation. I had to fight. I've been advancing for a long time. I looked at the list like that, there was a very good lineup. Well, somewhere Rosenbeck got injured, maybe he would have fought later. Many somehow did not fight, I do not know, everyone can have their own reasons. But it's part of my training, I just had to get through here. That's why I'm glad.
You went to America. First of all, how do you like the country? This, in my opinion, is your first acquaintance, yes, from this side. And secondly, did you manage to meet Jordan Burroughs, talk to him about the subjects of your future face-to-face fight?
I was pleasantly surprised, since I had only seen GTA before and in movies. In fact, they are. It turns out everything is there. And people and cities and everything. I liked it in America. And about Jordan. We were negotiating with the manager of Ala Belaziz. He is, well, a close person, he said, I can arrange for you, I will try. Then we corresponded with Hoda. He told me, I'm working on it too. We agreed on July.
And which one?
No, it's in the UFC Fight Pass, it's a separate one. Well,
That is it within the framework?
they want to organize there. They are interested. Jordan didn't know, he wanted to, he said, I agree. But there is a nuance that he is preparing for the World Cup. I'm getting ready to fly to America for this fight. I think the license is worth more, so we decided to fight at the World first, and we will postpone this fight, I think, if the Almighty will let me win the World Championship and Jordan 79 win. It will be the opposite, it will cause such a big resonance, I think. Up to 2 wins.
Until 2.
Maybe even 3 meetings.
Well, by the rules or by the rules of MMA?
Yes, according to the rules of Boro. I don't think they will agree according to the rules of MMA.
Tell me, please, here you are, after all, now the first full-fledged camp as an MMA fighter held, right? Was there anything unexpected, considering that you had never immersed yourself in sports before, or did everything work out after all?
I will say one thing. Yes, dear, it is necessary to work hard that you. Just like that. I don't know, because people give 10 or 20 years for this and you came with freestyle wrestling, so it doesn't happen that you become a champion right away. But there is one thing, if you perform in large arenas, like this at the World Cup, at the Olympic Games, these are the ones. I won't say, they act as psychological emotions. If you have psychologically grown up to the growth of this level. I am confident in myself, I have always been confident in myself. I think I can do it. No doubt at all, since we all see the struggle as one of the main aspects in this.
And you've got a pretty good punch. I was a witness.
Well, punches probably take a risk, as Abdulman Magomedovich said calmly. He didn't like to take risks. He said, do your own thing, it's necessary. The main thing is that they raise your hand.
Were you as tired in the camp as you were in the fight, or more or less?
Well, somewhere I was more tired, somewhere less, because those who do not know how to fight, I drove them. On the contrary, I drove them into deep waters, let them pass and wrap them up there. And it happened where they feel the repellings better. There are many I'm tired of. My main one is a fight. And along the way, I was offered a contract and I couldn't refuse it, because the conditions are good, we live today, we don't know what is connected with Borga. And 3 days after signing the contract, they told me that I was already, slowly, of course, I was looking for training camps there, how to start it all in a year or 2. 3 days later, I was told that we were already being admitted to the Olympic Games, to the World Cup, and contracts, if I'm preparing for the World, for the Olympics.
And whose initiative was it? Islam Makhachev or?
No, it was my initiative first of all, it was this initiative. I talked to him, but they've done a lot for me. Rustam Kabalov, Islam Makhachev, there is a Sajid and all the guys are there. This is one big friendly family. Growing up together, it's a little hard when you don't have such a close friend who loves you. I have, but all the same, when you are at a professional level, you are somewhere at the training camp there is a person nearby. And you see, as a team, it's easier for them to move. It has always attracted me to succeed in this sport. The only person I was angry at that day, my dream was to win the Olympic Games and become a UFC champion. And he became a double and a little, yes. Here, that was mine. Well, there was such a task. I won't say it's such a big dream.
When you go on a campaign for the Bellator belt, when the name of your first opponent will be known.
They said, tell me when you're ready. They are interested in me fighting at the World, at the Olympics. They are more interested in this, since Ronaru and he are already in the twilight of their career and I am their prizer with a medal, so to speak. And they also need it so that I can compete at the Olympics, they are afraid of them.
To promote their sport.
To popularize it.
Well, I saw that you didn't waste any time. While in America, I significantly pulled the English language. I saw that you are now trying to write only in English.
When I came to America, I think I didn't know anything. Well, I didn't study well at school, there's English especially. I didn't think I would need English. And now I understand that when you go abroad, everyone speaks English and you stupidly just look at them. I started to devote a little more time to English. I have a foreigner who has just arrived here. He knows Russian and speaks English very well. I always tell him. And in 2 or 3 days, you can say, when you talk often with a person, you are already more or less starting to grow there in this regard.
How to say it in English? I'm going to be a champion soon.
I will be the champion. The same thing. One of the easiest ones, too, and useful, I think, today. And as for the posts, I see that foreigners have subscribed to me, so I try to allocate time for them. Let them see there too.
How many new English words does Magomedkhabib Kadimagomedov learn per day after a trip to America?
I think I study more than 500 a day. Sometimes it can be a little difficult when they talk fast.
Some advice can be given to athletes who would like to learn English now, but I don't know where to start.
It's not shy not saying everything you think, but it means nothing got, but approximately if you are someone shy. Here I am personally shy, this is almost the majority of everyone. Don't be shy, I correct you, you're wrong later. On this is the most basic.
Wherever you are, you always have something interesting. What's the most interesting thing in America?
On the first day, when we went to the gym, we went to this fitness room. Such people come in jeans, in ordinary clothes, they're in berets. They come in, one guy, well, he's so stoned, you could see he smelled so. This is such an interesting moment. We took the subscription right there as we passed on the spot. And he comes in with such eyes, sits down abruptly, makes several of these approaches for 10 minutes and leaves in berets. He swayed for 10 minutes and also left. It surprised me so much. Yes, you will not find such a thing here. And sometimes people still come there in such clothes, swing up to the 7th sweat, and in the same clothes cars get in and leave. Well, it's a little different from ours.
But were you comfortable being in America in general in terms of lifestyle?
Not comfortable. There is a way of life.
Did you imagine her like this?
There are some moments that you liked there. There are also bad examples that they show there. And there are pros and cons everywhere.
Here they say the food is not very good there. Organic, not organic.
He paid so much attention to such restaurants there and fed them. There was great food there. It was very tasty. There were rolls. We haven't tried them anywhere else. Have you been to America? Wasn't there?
I've never been there.
I wanted to get there so much. I liked it. I think everyone will like it. In America, no one has ever said that it's bad there. When you stay for a long time, you still have to do it. I want to go home to my loved ones.
What happened in my head after a trip to this country? Rethought something, maybe.
After a trip to America, I got such a hunger for sports in general. I decided for myself that for another 5 or 6 years I want to survive at most, if the Almighty gives so much. Up to this point, there were difficulties, because they don't let us in. Someone says they let us in, and it's difficult to set up with this, not knowing where you're going. And when I was signed there, when they already said that 90% already allows, I already had a hunger both there and here. Take care of yourself, watch your weight, then prepare for the Olympics next year. Olympiad the world. I only fought on one world in the 17th year. It's been 5 or 6 years. I think I want to fight, I want to. I don't want to release this youth just like that.